My husband DNA tested our child, so I divorced him.
Get him out of here. I tested for our love. It failed.
So throwaway, as my husband knows my Reddit. I, 34 female, have been with Ken, not his real name, 37 male, since I was 16. So they've been together longer than they've been apart.
Wow. True.
That's big. That's big.
It's a long time.
We met in school as he was my brother's friend. We've been married for 10 years, have a 2-year-old son, and one on the way. By the way, this comes from Patient Somewhere 86 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, Ken has always been my person, the person who you can't picture life without. And honestly, I can't remember not loving him. That's freaking cute. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that?
True.
I grew up with him. He's my everything. Unfortunately, Ken has this issue where he takes on everyone else's feelings to heart. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. He's like an emotional guy. However, recently his best friend of 20 years has just found out that his wife has been cheating on him and none of the children are his.
There it is. Wow.
How many whammies are we looking at?
Yeah,
right
that's
here?
what's the damage? What's the damage? Are we talking 2, 8, 40?
I also wonder how you like find out about that. Like you DNA test one kid and it's like, oh man, it's not that, like that's not my kid. And then you DNA test the youngest one, and then it's like, oh wait, this other kid's not my kid. And then it's just like 4 or 5. That must just be demoralizing.
Yeah,
Oh
I don't know
my
if you guys
God.
have heard of Josephine Baker, a famous
No.
historical figure who
I've only heard of Josephine Medola Berquist.
that yes,
Same,
not
same.
to be confused, both amazing Josephines. Josephine Baker adopted a kid from every single nationality on the planet, and that's
Like 200 kids?
no, like an
Continents,
Asian
continents.
kid,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
black kid, a white kid, and had a bunch of different
all
children.
of like the main ethnic
the
groups?
main ethnic groups, yeah.
What how many are we talking? Because like
I think like 5,
Five.
6, 7, something so like in that range.
okay.
And I imagine that's what his family looked like.
It's like, yeah, all of my kids just look a
Josephine
little
Baker,
different,
I
you know?
think.
Baker.
DNA, you know, it's a weird thing.
That's what this guy's family looks like.
I swear they're all mine. So, obviously, his friend is devastated and is staying in our guest room. He's a nice guy, just life has him down right now. He started the process of divorce. The more time Ken spends with his friend, the more depressing he's become and distant. Our mornings used to start where I would wake up 6 a.m. with our son, make breakfast, and about 8 a.m. I could wake Ken up with a coffee and some breakfast before going to drop the little one off at the nursery and go to work.
Perfect.
Perfect life.
Adorable.
Perfect life. Ken works from home, most days only going into the office on a Monday. So I give him his coffee, he'd give me a kiss, and then I go off on my happy little way. That was a perfect little family.
So great.
Then I'd finish work, get our son, and go home where Ken would be making tea. I'd clean up whilst he was bathing our son and putting him to bed. I thought this was my life. It might sound boring to some, but it was my life, and I loved it. And I feel like this life is going to come crumbling down.
Absolutely. Timber.
Timber. I'm going down.
I'm yelling timber. You're not my wife's
Dad,
kid's
Mom.
mother.
Our house was filled with love. We would spend our nights cuddling, talking, watching a movie. Date night once a month. We would take our son together on a Saturday and then Sunday go visit family or have friends over. I was just about to say, yeah, well, Opie's giving us the full week of this like perfect family
Play by
lifestyle. Opie then says, you get the picture. I'm rambling. Sorry. All right. So anyway, for the past month, things have been changing. Ken is more depressed. I make him a coffee in the morning and just get a mumbled, thanks. I'd come home from work, and the friend and him would be in the living room watching sports. I'm now making tea, bathing our son. Neither of them will barely talk to me.
Well, isn't one a baby? Am I crazy? Hey, baby, talk to me.
Get some vocal cords.
Goo goo gaga. Why won't you say something?
We don't go out on the weekends together, and I feel like a single parent. I've tried to talk to Ken about it all, but I get one-worded answers. It sounds like a conversation with me and Christian. How's your day? Yeah, good. What did you do today? Took pictures. That's how Christian talks to me. I love him, by the way. We transcend words.
Our AC's broken. Okay.
That was a conversation we had right before this stream. And he stays up till about 1 a.m., which I know it's not super late, but I'm passed out by then. I'm exhausted alone. And mind you, pregnant. I miss my husband. Yesterday, I came home from work, and you know when something just doesn't feel right? Well, I went to find Ken to see what he was doing, as his friend wasn't in the house, but Ken's car was. He was in the office looking up DNA kits for our son. Question for chat. Question for y'all. And this is a question that has come up on this show before, but why not do a poll, at least in the chat? Is finding your partner doing a DNA test on your son or looking up DNA tests on your son cause for divorce, cause for therapy, or cause for no alarm at all? What do you think?
Cause for divorce, because as we've covered on the show quite a plethora of times, you are not only insinuating that she cheated on you, not only insinuating that she had the child with the affair partner, but that she is living a 24/7 lie to coerce you into raising that child. It is accusation on accusation on accusation.
Yeah.
So it is if you are trying to drop that is a big thing to drop.
I think it's like, I would actually walk it back and say therapy, just because they've been together for 16 years.
Yeah.
But I think what I agree with John is it's serious. Like, it's the same as when we've talked on this show about someone going through someone else's phone. That's an indicator that the trust is gone, and at the very least needs some therapy and conversation to bridge the gap.
Yeah. I would also talk to the husband's friend. He's probably saying some not so nice things about OP.
He's
OP.
talking in his ear. He's talking in his ear. You know, the little joker giving the king. You know that in Lord of the Rings where that guy is giving the king all that advice, and he's like, "Master,
I know
don't
who Gollum
trust
is."
him." Not Gollum.
Like,
No.
God.
I forgot the guy, but he's like, "Master, you should not trust this thieving little man. He doesn't have your best interest in mind." I feel like that's what this friend is doing. Is like, you think, yes, that guy. It's like, you think that those children are yours. Are you sure, Master? Are you sure? Could be someone completely different. That guy.
Can someone give bro a shampoo bottle, because
man's greasy.
he
Man's
needs some advice on how to
greased
clean his
up.
hair.
Dude, you got to give him your hair care routine.
That's true.
But yeah, I think it is a serious accusation that carries a lot of baggage and also indicates a lack of trust.
Most deaf.
But I would love to know what you guys think. And it looks like 4 of you are saying divorce, 15 votes for therapy, 79% therapy.
Wow.
I'm in the therapy camp just because I think it's something that maybe could be worked through, but it is serious.
To be clear, me too, to add some slight nuance, I think if she said, like, I want to get a divorce because all those layers of trust and those insinuations are being placed, I would understand where she's coming from. But therapy first, pretty much always.
Also, Jafar is also the evil whisperer. And Catarain says, is his name Wormtongue? Man's name is Wormtongue?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
That's crazy. That dude's name is Worm. Why would you ever trust someone whose name is Wormtongue? That's crazy.
What that tongue do?
I asked him why, and his response was, well, I just want to make sure all the kids are mine before I continue looking after them, as I'm not free childcare. Big yikes.
Ooh.
Big yikes. This broke me. When I say I'm devastated, it's an understatement. But if he thinks I've cheated on him, then surely the trust is gone. Is there any going back? Am I just being pregnant and hormonal? And she's pregnant.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Would I be extreme for looking for a divorce? I could put the papers in an envelope with the results from the DNA test. She's already thought it out. She's like, I'll frickin' show him.
That's cold.
I think I'm going to go cry in bed now. Had to take the day off of work as I feel like I've been gut punched. There is an update the same day.
Oh,
But it looks like most people have voted therapy instead of divorce, which I think, you could do therapy and then lead to divorce. But yeah, it takes all kinds, says divorce. Nicole Larch says, yeah, he can GTFO like now. Lily X3 says, if I never gave him a reason, so nope, I'm gone. And I don't think OP gave a reason. It wasn't like she was gallivanting around town or, texting strange men in the early hours of the morning.
we can't hear an experience from someone and then automatically it's the like, oh, someone got cancer, I have cancer.
Yeah.
It's that.
Well, I think
that.
it shows also like this dude just can be manipulated so easily. Like, a dude starts whispering in his ear and he's like, I'll do whatever you say, worm tongue. Like,
his
come
spine
on.
is as strong as worms' tongues.
Exactly, dude. That spine is slithering out of his spine sack. It's as limp as a wet noodle.
There's the spine right here.
Yeah. That. Look at that. Look at that thing. It's got. There's no substance to that. Yeah.
It's big.
Fucking flopping around.
What it's like to go home with John.
Before he gets excited, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So we got an update same day. So hello, Reddit. Well, after my post earlier this afternoon, I cried, then read all your lovely comments, and I couldn't be more grateful. I think posting about it here really helps for some reason, which I feel like we've found a lot on Reddit and just elsewhere. Posting about what you're going through, at least for yourself, allows you to like clear your thoughts.
Think through it.
They say writing is understanding what you think. Teaching is a level further. That I don't, something like that.
Yeah.
Boom.
Someone tell me what the quote is. Definitely not even close to that.
Michael Jordan.
Dwayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Weird how telling complete strangers that I'm struggling with life seems to help. So I think after my pity party, which couldn't last long due to being a parent, I called my stepmom and dad. My mom died when I was 10. They are coming to stay with me on Friday. Crying on the phone helped, although I'm not really sure they could truly understand a word of what I was saying. I spoke to Ken. Well, more like spoke at Ken, telling him that his friend has till Thursday to leave. I'm not a monster and can't just tell him to leave at the drop of a hat. I've also told Ken he needs to leave too.
Yeah.
Whilst, yes, I could go to my dad's house, I don't want to disrupt my little one more than needed, and all the things for my baby are here too, especially as I'm 8 months along. She about to pop.
She pregnant.
It just seems stupid for me to be the one to leave. Wow. I've made it a point of not pointing out it's my house either. I'm just trying to be calm and sensible. I'm not 100% sure Ken listened, but I did message his sister, who is a force to be reckoned with, and she said she will make sure he's gone by Thursday night. Things I've told Ken I want is, yes, he can have the DNA test, but I will be danged if I'm the one to do it. He can also have one for the baby, as I ain't got no crap to hide. I know that some people have questioned why I'm so against it. Let me make something clear for y'all. I would never cheat because, as I said in my last post, Ken is / or was, I don't know, my person. He's the only man I've ever been with. So that isn't a concern of mine. I'm just hurt that he wants one because clearly he doesn't trust me. So the things I want him to have the DNA test, mainly so I can make him eat the results. Not literally, I'm just venting. I'm also going to suggest couples therapy. Okay.
Nice.
Love it.
I already see one due to losing my mom and my little sister in a car crash when I was little. Dang. I want to suggest he sees one alone, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I don't want to force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. I want him to maintain contact with our son. Yes, he doesn't believe he's the father right now, but that's no reason he should neglect him, as he's his, and I don't want to upset my son.
Facts.
Yes, he's only 2, but he still deserves all the love from both his parents. he's done nothing wrong, then obviously this one, when he/she comes along, still not sure about the state of my marriage, but even if divorce is what happens, I need to be able to get through to him so he can be the father he was. Am I going insane? Do I sound insane? I don't know why writing here helps so much. Thanks, Reddit. And we got another update. Josephine Medola Burkowitz says, no, force him to actually eat it.
I would love that.
I actually think OP is taking a pretty level-headed approach to this. Like
super level.
The idea of, all right, I'm going to give you the DNA test, but you're going to at least be going to couples therapy and regular therapy. I don't know if our marriage can make it through, but I'm willing to try.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it would probably be, I like this idea of thinking of the child first.
Yes.
She's like, all right, what's going to be best for the child in terms of me moving, going out of the house? Also, what's going to be best for the child in terms of having a father that cares?
Yeah, he'll feel it. You know, look, this, it might be a baby. Is he ugly, hideous? Quite possibly.
Yeah. John,
that's
I
not
hate
relevant.
babies fry. Yeah.
That's not relevant. What matters is the baby going to feel the father, not being as present? Like in his mind, Ken's mind, he's like, oh, I don't, that's not my kid. Let me da-da-da-da-da. Kid can feel that no matter how ugly the baby might be.
And you know what they say? It's like, if you feel ugly on the inside, you're going to be uglier on the outside. So you've just like compounded that baby's ugliness.
Stop that.
We don't need uglier babies.
Because they're going to grow out of it. You
never know. You never know.
No, babies are only ugly as babies. All babies grow and then we're all beautiful. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know about
true.
that. I think there's I think people can grow up to just be big ugly babies.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I can't argue with it.
Can't argue with it.
Some people.
Like, like one guy in Spider-Man, the pinhead man. Kingpin. That man is a big ugly baby.
Is that the Penguin?
No, Kingpin in
John,
Spider-Man.
I don't watch movies, Fry.
Oh, yeah. That's Batman.
All right, but we got an update.
Oh.
So, hello again. I don't know how to update posts, so I just had to make another one. Following my 2 other posts, I will answer some questions. Yes, it is my house. It was left to me when my mom passed away. I've lived here all my life. I didn't move out because I have a child and one on the way, so why should I be the one to leave? I get that some people believe I was the a-hole for asking him to leave, but as I was heavily pregnant, have a toddler, and it's my house.
Dude.
I wasn't about to leave. Who's telling this woman that she's in the wrong by kicking this guy out?
Who are you?
She's pregnant to the max and also has a toddler to take care of.
Beyond the legal.
And it's her house.
Like legally it's her house, but even beyond that, it's like, who are you?
Yes, he could have stayed, but have you tried living with someone who just wants to argue or just not talk? I prefer my child not to live in that environment. Thank you very much.
Boom.
At the end of the day, I'm a mother first and a wife second. If you think that's harsh, then I don't know what to tell you. My children come first, end of story. Or actually, she just says first, end of. Because it's so end of story, she doesn't even need to complete it.
Don't even say story.
Well, Ken's friend did leave the day I told him he had till Thursday. He wasn't happy about it and shouted some insults at me, which was amazing. Ken's sister came and picked up Ken. I wish I could tell you what she said, but she didn't say anything in front of me, just kept giving Ken death stares. We did get the DNA test for a little one, and Ken is the father, obviously.
Oh, wow.
There you go. There you freaking go.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Ken somehow thinks I've intercepted the results, even though I wasn't the one that did it. I wasn't the one that got handed the results, etc. So he's clearly lost his mind. My dad came over, and whilst, Opie's favorite word, I was making tea, my water broke.
Oh.
My little girl is here.
Uh-oh.
She is healthy and happy.
Wow.
She is 9 pounds, 8 ounces. So no concern of anything with her. Riley, how big were you when you came out?
8 pounds, 6 ounces.
9 pounds is pretty big, right?
Yeah, my little brothers were 9 pounds, like 12 ounces, 10 ounces, 11 ounces.
Yeah, that's a big baby. I think it was 6 pounds.
Oh, wow.
How,
What about you, John?
how many pounds were you?
15 and 2 ounces.
Were you actually 15 pounds?
Probably.
18 months. What do you expect?
But I don't know if they had like a weight metric system then too.
What?
a weight metric
Riley's
system?
saying, "Oh, so long ago. Did they have some sort of different measurement of weight? Weight is so long ago." Congratulations.
Yeah,
Old joke.
how many stones were you?
yeah.
So-
How many
Can't
pounds
win.
away?
I'm now a mom of 2. I am home now, and Ken has been to see his baby girl. Although I guess she doesn't know that she is his baby girl
Mhm.
because there's been no DNA test. And he doesn't think she's his because his family doesn't have many girls. Yet, he has a sister. So I rolled my eyes. Ezekiel says John was weighted with clamshells.
I was weighted in pearls because I'm a gem.
Oh.
Oh.
Sir, you don't understand. Honestly, I do think we need to imprison this man because he is too stupid to function in society.
Yeah,
I
I know.
am just going to throw that out there.
I wish these kids weren't his because he's infecting the world with his awful gene pool.
Bro, he is spawning more half Kens, and we cannot.
We can't have
we
that.
cannot afford that.
We don't need that in this world.
Yikes!
It's the world of idiocracy that we're pointing to with more of this man's seed in the
It's
world.
what the plants crave.
Yeah, because I want him dead and being mulch for the plants. I want
Damn.
fungi to eat his remains.
I mean, I just said throw him in jail. That's all I said.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I don't really know where to go from here. Ken is refusing therapy. He says there's nothing wrong with him or his brain. I beg to differ, and so do all of us.
Mm.
He wants to get another DNA test for our boy, but won't tell me when or where, so I can't interfere. Maybe one day he will come to his senses. My dad and stepmom are staying with me for a while to help me with the babies. I'd like to say I'm okay, but honestly, my emotions are all over the show. I don't know which way is up. Ken's sister visits the babies, and we've had an unspoken rule that we don't speak about Ken apart from when our son asks about him. I wish it was the kind of update where he got the results, saw how much of an idiot he's been, and we move on. But sadly, that is not the case. Michelle Eveline says, that man is trash.
Facts.
Also, if you want a TLDR, it's at the bottom. Osby's husband's distant or press and questioned paternity of their son, leaving OP devastated. So I can't dwell on it too much. Just take crap one day at a time. I do miss my person and worry that he's missing out on his baby girl's life already, which if I think about that too much, I will just sit and cry. But I don't have time for that. As always, thanks for listening to me rant. I might update if anything else happens in my life. We're going to get that update. Right now, I'm still left wondering if I'm doing right here. Is there anything I could do differently? Why are my kids so hard for him to accept all of a sudden? And we have another update. So the question to you guys, question to our little chat, question to John, question to Riley. Do we think this doofus, this dummy, this waste of human seed and potential, this spreader of low IQ throughout space, time, and DNA will come around?
No. I have basically no hope for him. I think the plan that OP laid out and then that you had kind of laid out is great, which is like, hey, let's pursue some therapy. If not anything, for almost like a post-mortem or just a like due diligence on making sure we're carrying out.
And he won't even take the first step. You know, she's kind of saying like, hey, do you want to stay married? Do you want to keep this thing going? You better see what's wrong with your head, buddy. And he's like, nothing's wrong. I don't care. These still are my kids. Like, he's not even taking the first step. So like that is a single file march towards the end of the cliff, falling into the deep sea of divorce.
I think, we're literally at this point just doing due diligence on the path on the Yellow Brick Road to divorce. That I think is all we're doing at this point, with like attempting to go to therapy, her going to therapy, and making sure that like, okay, we're on the way. We're absolutely on the way out the door.
We are on the way. And we got an update 3, y'all.
Oh.
So, hello again, Reddit, my suckling mistress, my sweet savior.
Oh.
Things have been bizarre, but now I have closure. I know what's happened to my marriage. I know the scum. What Ken really is. He's not my person and never truly was. So now I just want to divorce him, cut my losses, and move on with my, I'm going to stop right here. Bro, put I see you in the chat if you know where it's going.
I see
Zombie Love 25 says, I think he's cheating.
Whoa!
You know, not always is this the case, but often the person who says you are cheating is actually the person who was cheating the whole time.
Wait a second, Sam. I think we're in a classroom in the early 2000s because I see a projector. I rest my case.
Rest your case. Leave that projector on. Play some Bill Nye the Science Guy.
That's right.
And walk away out of that classroom like a cool guy walking away from an explosion.
Yup.
Maybe a baking soda and vinegar explosion.
That's right.
It was freaking Bill Nye.
Shout out Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Our hero.
I'm still at home with my babies, settling into motherhood. Did John become a father while I was gone? Because that was a total dad joke. You never know. You never know. You never know.
It's me, baby.
Stay protected, y'all. So I'm still settling into motherhood. My dad and stepmom are still here, but they will be leaving soon once I'm more emotionally stable. To say I'm okay would be a lie, but I now know what I need to do. I have some sort of closure with Ken. I know what happened with him, and I know that it's not my fault. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, don't blame yourself for the sins of a Ken.
100%.
You know? Turns out, Ken was having an affair. With whom?
Who? Do we know?
And has a baby on the way.
Oh, wow.
Even typing that makes me want to throw up.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
I found this out when a visibly pregnant lady knocked on my door and asked me when I would be leaving the house as it's Ken's house.
Pregnant on pregnant crime.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
insanity.
And Ken will probably thought he was like being a big dog, saying like, I own this house.
Dude.
Little does he know, it is not his house. Premarital asset, boys and girls.
It's the smallest
I
wiener
think.
out there.
I'm not sure. Small,
No big
yeah,
dog
exactly.
here.
Small wiener activity.
Mm.
When I say this confused the crap out of me, I meant it. I talked to this woman for a while to try to work out what she was talking about. It turns out that she's Ken's side piece. Well, technically, in her head, she's his fiance.
Ooh.
A month ago, Ken got down on one knee and proposed to her in my effing kitchen. Ken is cooking up some bull.
The audacity.
The audacity.
Audacity.
Classy, right?
Dude, okay. So you're telling me he was cheating this whole time, then his friend gets cheated on, finds out none of the kids are his, and he's like, oh, I have a great idea. I'm going to try and make sure that it looks like she was cheating on me and it's not even my kid, so I have a way out. He just got that idea from his friend.
I think, he's probably been emboldened maybe by his friend. Is like, that girl can get away with having an affair for that long, all those kids. Like, maybe I can.
He said, let me take notes.
Let me take notes.
Let me do the male version of that.
Yeah. He's inspired.
I've studied from the master.
Yeah, I've looked at the greats. They say if you want to live a life like the greats, you got to first learn from them, and then you got to act like them.
You got to learn. You got to act.
Walk 1,000 steps in their moccasins or some whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People are commenting he deserves combo number 14, which again is being blasted through the moon, through the sun, through the Oort cloud, deep into a black hole, and locked in a eternity prison as spaghetti.
Combo number 14.
That's combo number 14. Blasted through every wall of the universe to live in eternal hell jail as a spaghetti eaten by evil space pigs.
Oh.
For eternity.
All right.
That's combo number 14.
I think I'm in agreement. I think we all in unison right here.
Yes.
Thanks.
So they've been seeing each other for a while. She's having his baby. She believes I'm the ex-wife who Ken is letting stay in his house till I get on my feet. We apparently broke up a few years ago, and none of my kids are Ken's. When I go to work in the morning, Ken goes to her house and works from there. They were waiting for marriage to move in together. How are you trying to marry someone when you are already married?
Just
effing weirdo.
mm-hmm.
I asked for proof of all this. She has pictures of them together. Apparently, she has an OF account, and they make content together.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, what?
Couples that work together stay together.
That's
You
what
know?
Ken says. That's what Ken
What Ken
thinks. That's the
says.
motto he lives by.
Yeah.
What? Where did this even come from?
He's trying to be a businessman,
He's,
you know?
he said, like us, we're like, oh, hey, we're having this conversation. It's totally unmonetized.
Yeah.
He said, I am making sweet, passionate love to my fiance side piece I'm cheating on with my wife. Why can I not monetize that?
Yeah. It's one thing to cheat on your wife, right? And
right.
like, that's lame. Capitalism says,
Hey.
"Pfft, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, where's the revenue stream?
Where's the revenue stream? Then another thing, cheat on your wife, but make money from it. Capitalism says, good on you, boyo.
Support everyone.
Support everyone.
Right.
But yeah, you're supporting your viewers. You're supporting good Big Daddy Uncle Sam, giving 30 to 50% to taxes. That's the American dream. That is the American way. And Ken is doing that.
When
It's a good old American name.
when he uploads the video that says, this chick while my wife is away, he doesn't want to put out a clickbait title and not mean it. He has to live up to what he is putting out there.
Method
He
acting.
has to live it.
I feel like a
has
lot
character.
of creators, they do the clickbait. They're not authentic.
Wow.
But Ken is authentic. When he says, "Pie, my wife is at work," he means that.
He means it.
He means
He's not
that.
joking.
Yeah,
He's not joking.
and he has the baby bump to prove it.
He does.
Yeah.
Both.
So everyone, put a finger up for Ken. Whatever finger you choose, it could be this
Middle.
one or another one, and raise those fingers high. But we got more. We got more. So I told her we are still married and explained everything to her. I'm not sure what she's going to do, but hey, not my circus, not my monkey. Now I want a divorce. Is it true that once you talk to a solicitor about divorce, they can't represent the person in your divorce? I don't know what that means. I want to go around our town and meet with as many solicitors as possible. Yes, that is true. That is true. I have heard that. If anyone's seen Marriage Story, that is a thing. If you talk to a divorce lawyer or solicit advice from a divorce lawyer about getting a divorce, the other person can't use that divorce lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Well, for a certain number of days, I think.
I think it's for long enough for it to mess up divorce proceedings.
Oh,
if
wow.
you were to go with that person.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Jellyba says, I've also heard conflict of interest. So
makes sense.
as the first hour is free so that he has a very hard time getting representation. Is that too petty?
No.
Chat, is that too petty? The
No.
house is in my name only and it's protected, so there's no way he can take it. I have all my money and we do have a joint account, but that's just what we put our share of household bills in. I haven't spoken directly with Ken. His family has completely cut him off and he's been kicked out of his sister's house. All those people that were concerned about him having a tumor or something wrong with his brain, I really don't think that's the case. I think his actions just caught up to him as his lies were going to come out once the baby was born. I think that's what happened. He got backed into a corner and tried to fight his way out. Through divorce process, I will get the court to do DNA testing so he has proof for both, even if he chooses to not believe it. I'm mentally exhausted from all of this and sat wondering how I did not notice. Might have to go for an eye test. But honestly, would I be so wrong for just making his life as difficult as possible to get legal advice? Or is that too far? I want him to suffer.
Go do it.
Listen.
Meet with them all. Meet with all the solicitors in your county and the next counties that are touching it.
We try to have the most empathetic, positive view of things
That's
on this
true.
show.
Hey,
on
we
this
want
show.
we want y'all to love each other and love up on each other and like spill your love into each other.
But today, we are about to rain absolute explosive terror on this man's dome piece. We are about to unleash
Yep.
the tsunami
Preach.
of petty
Yep.
upon his mere mortal flesh
Yep.
and let nature do what it does best.
Yep. Get
That
that
is what we're
man
doing today.
caught in a giant wave, push him to another state,
Yep.
get all the dolphins to also solicit on your behalf.
Oh, you know
Make
what they
sure
do.
he cannot get a solicitor /
And-
lawyer in that state either.
And not only are we soliciting,
Yep.
we're coming after his little small business.
We're coming
Ooh.
after a small business.
Get
yeah.
it.
You know
Report.
what? That fans check. Sorry, that OF check. I want a percentage. Those
me.
titles kind of include me.
What were they?
Whoa.
That is such a
I am
good
a
point.
key player in this.
Mhm.
Cream pie. While my wife is not here, I'm the wife.
I'm wife.
I'm wife.
I'm my wife.
Yeah.
Okay? So, come on.
Come on. I deserve
Production
a piece.
wouldn't be possible without me.
Exactly.
So here we go.
Exactly. Put some respect on that mother effing name.
Mhm.
Another update.
Finish it.
I am finally divorced and could not be happier. Beautiful. Preach it from the heavens. Oh, well, hello there again, Reddit. I'm okay. I totally just forgot about my ramblings on here. Lol. I'm doing okay. I'm officially divorced from Ken. Took a long time to get to this part of my life, and at some points, I actually felt like I was drowning. Both of my kids had a DNA test through the courts, and they are Ken's. He still doesn't believe it. Not my problem, though. Ken is now in prison for domestic abuse. I'm not 100% on the details because I was not involved. It was his side piece. By the way, don't be our side piece. You should join us live on YouTube and Facebook every weekday, 3 p.m. PST. We're probably live right now, so tap our profile. There's another relevant update, John. But what the heck? Did not see that coming.
Just when you think Ken is a shriveled up evil little devil man, he somehow spawns into Mega Satan, and you just...
I mean, he is a shriveled devil man. Literally, like every ounce of wet scruple has been wrung out of that man.
How could we forget the scruples?
The scruples have fallen to the floor.
Yes, they're just absolutely not. And you know, I Time Market editor, I did say earlier in the stream, throw him in prison, throw him in jail.
Yep.
I'm thrilled he's there.
I'm not saying John's a genie or a god, but I am saying you should start praying to someone, and it might as well be him because he's got that mind that just looks into the future. He's got that psychic little twinkle in his eye.
Who else are you gonna do it to?
Who else? Who else are you gonna pray to but our boy John? Prayers for John, but not for John, with John.
That's right.
Because of John.
To John.
To John. Prayers to John. You want to be on John's a nice list. Yeah. Honestly, you want to be on John's naughty list, you know?
Yeah.
Either
There's only one
get
person
the
on
gift.
that list.
Oh, yeah? Oh, baby.
Enough said.
I love to say that sometimes I don't break down in tears, and I'm completely over it. But I'm not. I've now gone back to work, though, after my maternity leave was finished. I got a promotion, and now I'm used to living with just us 3. My kids keep going, and I'm so proud of them. They go visit their grandparents and dad's side of the family, and they have been so loving and so supportive. His sister is still amazing. At least doesn't run in the family. I don't really know what else to say, just that I'm okay, I'm divorced, and my children are thriving. I'm okay. I'm divorced and my children are thriving. I can't thank Ken for a lot of the things, but I'm grateful for my children that are biologically hers.
What happened to the friend though?
I don't know. They just got kind of cast out.
Yeah,
that's where it started.
Honestly, yeah, so many things happened. I feel like bro's significance just shrank even lower, and just like at this point, so much has happened. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, he's in jail too.
I think that's what we need. I think that's what we need. But
the friend that got cheated on?
Yeah.
After all this was revealed, he didn't really do anything.
Literally, Ken
you
is
brought bad vibes, bro.
Ken is so bad. Anyone in his orbit should just for safety, just button it up, just throw him on in there.
Oh my gosh.
Get him in there, man.
But we got another story that I have already queued up on John's behalf that is right there.
It's gonna be great.
All right, hit it.
I refuse to let my husband control our finances because he's trying to control me. So my husband and I have been married for over a year, and he knows what I make hourly, but I don't just hand my money over to him. By the way, this comes from Material Pearl 1840 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So backstory, 10 years, my kid's dad took control of my bank account and income, spent my savings, and gave me an allowance of $50 a week from my own check. This had to cover gas, groceries, and diapers. So I gave birth to a second child a year and a half later and would walk to the store so I would have gas for work. Oh my God. We've seen financial manipulation. This man is the Satan of financial manipulators. My God. One day, I had to make a decision on buying diapers for my oldest or my newborn. I cried in the diaper section because I couldn't believe my life had gotten to this point. I'll never forget the kind person who purchased the diapers for my children and gave me extra money to hide. When I had gotten home, I was belittled and accused of stealing money to buy so much. Yeah, for your own freaking children. When I explained $50 a week for the family of 4 of us, $50, including diapers, wasn't enough, he told me to figure it out. I asked for $100 a week. Eventually, I convinced him to allow me more money. 3 months later, I left and swore I would never allow another man to do that again. Present day, 10 years later, my husband was fully aware that I came with about $18,000 in credit card debt. It's a bundled deal, ladies and gentlemen. I've successfully paid almost all of it in 2 full years.
Wow.
That's big.
That's some work.
That is making it happen, Cap'n. Made it possible by not having my own house, leech of an ex with 4 kids, and no utilities. I'm responsible for groceries for a family of 5, phone bill for us, and car insurance. I have my car payment and 1 credit card. My husband pays the utilities and house payment. We recently purchased a new to us camper, and he took a loan out on it and put the money I got from my totaled camper in the bank. So he has that as well as his vehicle payment. He says that I should be giving him $300 or more a month for savings and to help with the utilities, and I won't. So to quickly big picture summarize what's happening here, it seems that while she is in a much better split payment financial situation, this new husband is still asking for a little more than it seems he needs to be. And OP is understanding to be like, hey, you know where I came from? Yeah, I'm not dealing with an ounce of BS, as she shouldn't. Stand up, queen. If something happens to him, I can't access that account to pay bills, etc. I don't believe I'm on his account at all. I opened an account 5 months ago and have $250 per check placed into it for safekeeping. I love it. I also must get school supplies, kids' clothes, etc., etc. Now, with his ex-wife, they split the cost 50-50 for their daughter, but my ex and I are not on those type of terms. My husband gets huffy that my situation is not like his, but I told him it is what it is. Now, every pay period, he will ask me for money for utilities, and I brush it off or say, if you buy groceries, sure. He says, I don't know how to save money, and he should have what's left of my check each week for a vacation, going out to dinner, etc., etc.
What?
Once again, he just said, I should have your leftover money, your savings money, so I can go on vacations and go out to dinners.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not even we can go on vacation and go out to dinners. Brother, I won't do it. The mere thought of having an allowance again terrifies me. Do I overspend some weeks? Yes, but I don't use a credit card to buy those items anymore. I don't rob Peter to pay Paul like I did back in 2020. I budget right down to the coupons for groceries and what my grocery bill will be before I enter the store. OP is on her stuff. He says I need to trust him and let him hold on to all of our money together because his savings account is my savings account also.
But her name isn't on it.
Literally, like, this dude is, and for sure, new husband knows the history that she's been through to say like, oh, your savings account is my savings account too, knowing the context of what she's been through, to me is pure insanity.
Different husband, same man. You know?
Talk about it. I just can't bring myself to do this unless I have full access to that account as well. I don't see that being an option. He recently sold a vehicle and put $16,000 into savings and gave me $1,000 to spend on whatever I wanted to. So I put $200 in the bank, bought my kids each one Christmas gift early at a friend's house, so I didn't hand it over now. They were on sale, and I paid $200 a piece per item. And I ordered myself some new glasses, $275, and some contacts, $150. I wanted a hoodie for $20, and he said, I gave you the money. Did you spend it already? Hey, did you take the money and spend it on? Yeah, I spent it on our freaking kids. Yeah, lock me up. Sorry, I bought a gift for our children. We are parenting together. I said, kind of. He knew what I did with it. He understands what she spent it on. And he said he wasn't buying the hoodie because I'm irresponsible with money, and he should have never given me the $1,000 and asked for receipts on everything I bought. He knew I went to the eye doctor. He knew how much I paid, and he knew about the gifts I got now because I saved more than I spent on the Christmas gifts. He's been very pushy about just holding all the money that his friends are beginning to make comments about it. What friends are like, oh, hey, your wife's holding on to too much of her savings account? Find new friends. We need to dump the friends.
Can I ask if I'm understanding
Please.
right?
Yes.
So she's making her own money.
Yes.
He's making his own money.
Yes.
He's asking for money for utilities to pay.
They basically split different costs of the house, right? And yeah, he'll say things along the lines of, oh, hey, could you give me the money to cover utilities? And she's like, we've already split, or could you put it in an account that I have control of? Could you give me some of your leftover money that I can use for vacations and dinners? And when he says,
is she getting money from him for vacations and dinners?
All she is getting is he is helping cover some of the other bills that are there. So after there's a close to at least, a split, some sort of split for living expenses, he's asking for extra money from her.
I think there needs to be a discussion reestablishing boundaries, saying like, hey, we're married, but I want our finances to be separate. I think what he's probably thinking, and I could be totally wrong, but he's like, I'm the man of the house, thus I need to control all the finances, and all my friends think that the man should control all the finances. And like, one, that is not at all how a house needs to be run.
Yep.
And two, OP has trauma, believing that a man will take care of her if he controls all the finances, and then literally financially abusing this woman. So I feel like it's a huge red flag, but maybe there's a chance OP can reestablish boundaries and get through to this guy in the social pressure that he may be feeling from friends or whatever his upbringing was that made him think it was okay to like demand this. But it's looking really, really, it's not looking great.
He is, like you said, basically completely ignoring her trauma and bulldozing her back into traumatic territory when he should be doing the polar opposite.
The opposite.
Telling me I need to pay when we go out for drinks, telling me that I need to pull that debit card out and pay the tab. So it is the friends are like, he's like, hey babe, like, can you like put some money aside for me? And the friend's like, yeah, why aren't you putting some money aside for him?
Yeah. So I guess the friends are like, oh, OP, you wanna like keep all your money to yourself? Then why don't you pay the tab? Like that's kind of the energy that they're bringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So OP goes on to say, I probably have $10,000 in the bank. I leave the tip. I don't drink when we go out aside from just water. Occasionally, I will have a sipper, but I will not risk a DUI. I tip because the bartenders are usually really good, making sure my water is full all the time, and I never go without, so I take care of him. Am I the a-hole for not letting my husband have control of all of the money? Real quick before we get into this edit, just to answer this, I mean, a resounding no. Like, this guy should understand what a traumatic experience you've been through, and again, do the polar opposite of what he's doing.
Yeah, I would be curious from you guys, what is the financial dynamic in your relationship and what do you think is healthy
Yeah.
in
Yes.
a financial dynamic, because there are worlds where people are okay with this, where it's like, all right, I'm going to give one partner all the money and they decide how we both spend it. But there are also relationships where it's like, you have your money, I have my money, and we come together for joint expenses. Like, I'm curious what you believe to be effective in your own relationship, or if there's any financial rules that you think should be universal. I think, like, in my relationship dynamics, like, if we're kind of making equal amounts, we just pay equally for each other. If maybe it's like massively different, like you could pay. I've seen like pay percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the one person makes like twice the amount, then that person pays twice the bill to the other person.
The one thing that all of the good setups have in common is consensus.
Consensus and communication.
Agreed. Hey, this is what we want to do, and they're both happy with it. All of the good, healthy working setups. It's all consensus, all communication.
So the communication has broken down here, and my suspicion is like these friends are like pressuring OP's husband to like take more manly financial power in the relationship. And he's like maybe getting a little self-conscious, and then like there's these undertones of toxic masculinity that are being fueled.
Poll, divorce or not? I'm curious. Vote, and we're going to keep reading, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's get into this edit. I want to be clear that the debt I acquired and had when we moved in together was from a past relationship, the one, the really bad one from the beginning, taking a huge pay cut and the good old pandemic. During that time, it destroyed my income. I hardly worked and was continuing looking for work while homeschooling both my kids. I robbed Peter to pay Paul, and my ex-boyfriend, who lived with me, didn't want to help with anything and was a huge financial burden. I had to get that reeled in. Edit number 2. Our incomes are similar currently. In January, I was put up for promotion, and once my training is complete, my monthly income will be 1.5 times more than my current monthly income.
Than his current monthly income.
I'm sorry. Than his current monthly income. So OP will then be making quite a bit more. My current income base off his base pay and not overtime yearly is about a $6,000 a year difference annually, and can go up to $20,000 with OT. In other words, OP could make
$20,000 more.
Up to $20,000 more
Wow.
per year. Edit number 3. His bills amount to roughly $700 a month. House is $400, leaving $300 openly for gas, water, electricity. Mine, car insurance, $250 a month. It changed again because he sold a vehicle and bought a different one. Last month it was $337. Phones a little over $264, includes internet. Groceries, which range from $200 to $400 a week, depending on produce and meat, etc., which is a big reason why I haven't been helping with household bills. I also pay for all streaming services, which can be ridiculous too. So super quickly, just to sum that all up. So over here, we have husband is paying $700 a month. And then to do some quick maths, maybe Riley, if you could help me.
I'm guessing she's paying like $1,000.
Yeah.
That's my out of the butt math. 1,650.
That's bare
Dang.
minimum. That's bare minimum, by the way.
That was good. That was good. Holy cow.
So,
Dude, off the dome. Holy cow.
Oh, you said 1650.
He said 1650.
I thought you were reading the thing. That's
No.
crazy.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, as Mr. Math Brainiac Samuel
that was
Donner.
a total guess. That was a total guess.
Dude, you got that. You got that. Said OP is paying like way more than him, and remember, he's still asking for way more.
Yeah, I think probably a lot of this is just coming from also him not knowing how much she's pulling, Potentially. It could just also be toxic masculinity, patriarchy kind of stuff, but it could potentially be him thinking that he pays more than his fair share, and her thinking that she pays more than her fair share, and there's just like a communication lapse there, which, I think very well could just be he's a dick, but come to the table with some communication and find out for sure.
Yeah, double check that he knows, like, oh, I'm paying like over double.
Yeah. And double check that you know how much like you're paying relative to him,
Yeah.
communicate. Like, I feel like financial communication is super important.
Indeed. Make sure he know. I kind of guess he would, but make sure for sure. Additional information from OP on the finances towards mortgage, bills, etc. OP says, when we agreed to move in together and I gave up my rental home, he paid for everything so I could pay off the debt and purchase a vehicle. I couldn't afford the car payment prior to moving in any longer, so I sold it back to the dealership. I borrowed a vehicle from my sister for 4 months till I got some of my stuff paid down and then bought a new car with a lower payment. After about 5 months of relying on him for everything, he asked if I wanted to cover groceries since I do the cooking and home inventory, toiletries, kitchen supplies, etc. I took that on as well as taking the phone bill and then the car insurance. He said that the house and utilities were in his name and my kids and I moving in didn't change much aside from water, and he wasn't concerned on me paying those because the main thing in the house that went up was the groceries. We had balanced it out with the house payment and utilities being around $650 to $700 in total. Myself paying for the car insurance, $300 for the 3 vehicles and camper, phone payment of $200, as well as being the person to buy all the groceries. It was even enough that he pays the utilities and the house.
So what I'm hearing from that
Mm-hmm.
is that for a while he paid everything for her
In the beginning.
and then over time it equalized.
It seemed like over time it tipped the scale to now where
She
she's
is.
paying a lot more.
And you know what I think? I think he's probably thinking, wow, I paid for her everything and she's not valuing that. And she's
Yeah.
probably thinking, I'm paying way more than my fair share now, and
Mhm.
he's not valuing that. And so again, I think there is a miscommunication here.
Yeah, if he feels that way, he needs to say, hey, I was covering everything for a good bit to get you back on your feet. I would like, now that time period is done, I, would like for you to contribute more
Yeah.
in these areas. But he's like, no, give me the money and the accounts.
He's not communicating that at all.
He's like
in
demanding.
a healthy way.
Yeah.
And it's like in an underhanded way. And yeah, I think there is a really poor communication style here.
Almost, and conspiracy theory, but almost as if he used him paying in the beginning to then
leverage
for control.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Which, we don't know until we have that conversation,
Yeah.
but it is feeling, it's not feeling great.
No.
It's not feeling great. Nicole H. asked, and what his income, what is his income? His income is $20,000 less than OP.
Yeah,
right now.
6 to 20,000 less a year.
You know what?
than OP.
Actually, we could actually do this math because we know that OP's
Expenses.
yeah. We know OP is making 1.5 times what he makes a month. So it's like 1.5x equals Y, and then also something like that. 1.5x equals Y, and then it would be like X minus 20 equals Y. And so if we solve that equation, we would know exactly how much OP is making.
I was in dumb boy algebra
Something like
1 in 11th
Oh,
grade.
I understand.
So,
I understand.
You keep
'Cause
reading.
OP makes 1.5 times more than he does, right?
Yeah, OP makes one. Here, give me the whiteboard. Let me get the whiteboard. Is there a marker?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna figure this out.
I actually had to do this math with my little brother. My dad couldn't do it, and I had to help him out. Like when I was there for Tate's graduation.
That's adorable. Also, we have an update. So, I took some of your suggestions previously. I asked him to go to marriage counseling, and he declined
Oh God.
because he didn't have any issues in our marriage except me. Wow.
Red flag.
Red flag. Suggested a joint bank account for bills and bills alone, and we have separate accounts for savings. This argument was pretty much the end of our marriage for me, and I think
Oh
we're
my
about to
God.
see why. I opened my own savings account at a different bank than I currently bank through. I didn't have a debit card, and if I needed to pull money out, I had to physically go to the bank. I picked up side cleaning jobs for spending money, so I wouldn't really touch either account that I had. We went to a sporting event with our children. I have 2, and he has 1 from a previous relationship. After the event, the kids wanted fast food, which was okay with me. It was late, and I didn't want to cook. So he asked me when we won the lottery and I told him I didn't feel like cooking and it was fine, and I handed him $20. Bro, they literally went to get fast food, and bro said, "Oh, I don't know when we won the lottery. Why are we going out and doing this?" Bro, 3 days later, I went to work. Apparently, he had other decisions that came with the money in his account that he wanted me to put money into. I came home to the ugliest dang car in our driveway. ICUs? He wasn't at home. He was at the bar. So when he pulled in the driveway, I pretended to be sleeping so I wouldn't blow up on him that night. Since he had been drinking for 5 hours, I knew it wasn't the best idea anyways. Wow. He was mad at me when I woke up in the morning because I didn't say goodnight to him and was asleep by the time he got home. He said, I don't have to worry because he's going to take out a loan on the car to put the money back in his savings account. The same thing he did with the camper when I gave him the money for it. Had I actually given him money to put in his savings account, it wasn't our money, it was his money. Financial decisions were his and his alone, apparently.
All right, I got it.
All right, break it down for us.
Okay, so X equals OP's money, Y equals hubby's money. We know that OP's money equals 1.5 times hubby's money. And we also know that OP's money equals hubby's money plus $20,000 because she makes $20,000 more. So what we do is this is X, so that's equal. So we make the 1.5Y equal to the Y plus 20,000. Then we subtract Y from here. We get 0.5 and we bring it over. So it goes 0.5Y equals 20,000. We divide by 0.5 on this side, divide by 0.5 on this side. So now we know that hubby makes $40,000 a year and OP makes $60,000 a year. I think.
That's Samuel Donald, ladies and gentlemen. If she gets all her overtime.
If she gets all her overtime. Yep.
But still. So I started looking for an apartment when I got into work, and with 3 hours, I was signing the paperwork and getting a cashier's check for a security deposit. I told him the day before I was moving and that I was leaving, and he asked me, how could I do this without talking to him? I said, well, you went and bought a whole car without talking to me first, so I got an apartment without your permission.
Oh.
I filed for divorce on my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I've been called a gold digger, accused of having an affair, and being blamed for his financial problems he is currently in. The camper I practically paid for, and he decided to get a loan on to have money in his savings account. Bro is such an idiot. He's like, oh, let me get more savings by taking out a loan. Brother.
Wicked smart.
Brother.
This guy.
He doesn't want any more and said, I have to pay for the cost of the loan to get it out from under him when I don't see why I should have to. Since I gave him the cash, I don't have a trail on what it was for when I gave him the money, nor did he ever put it in the bank after I gave it to him. And again, just to clarify one more time, she helped pay for this camper he got. She gave him money for it. Then he took out a loan and he's like, oh, pay the money for the loan. She's like, I literally already gave you the money for it. What are you talking about? So if I want the camper, I don't really have a choice but to do it. He asked for cash for the camper, and I literally laughed out loud and said that I did that once already, and I'm not doing it again and having to pay additional anymore. He calls me asking for the truth and if I was really cheating on him, and that caused me to leave because I wasn't watering his garden. I told him marriages end for other things and not just affairs, and told him to seek therapy because he has a lot of unresolved issues from his previous marriages, plural, if he assumes that I cheated on him. By the way, you should never cheat on us, and the best way to do that is to tap our profile and join our lives every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just come on in, guys. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, get in here. Let's talk. Was divorce the right move?
I mean, I feel like OP didn't want this guy to control her, so
yes.
I honestly was mathing for a good portion of that second half.
Hey, mathing great, might I add.
I appreciate it, but yeah, I feel like OP needed to get out of that.
Yeah, it was, and you know what? OP started working extra cleaning jobs, opened up new bank accounts. She set herself up well, and the reason why she got the apartment and everything and didn't tell him is because if she did, who knows what he could have done to try to ruin that, try to take the money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's ever good to lie to your partner, but I also think that
in circumstances of
marriage was
abuse
ending.
and danger, which I think this falls into like the financially abusive category, it is justified.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think Cheryl Dye says, yes, divorce is overdue. I think in an ideal case, you divorce before you get, the secret apartment and stuff, but also recognize that there are extenuating circumstances where people might need to create a safe exit for themselves.
Yeah. And I think this one falls into that category. I'm getting a divorce. After divorce, I'll be looking to purchase my own home and having absolutely no contact with him. My children and I are thriving already in our little apartment, and I'm managing my money very well. He wanted someone to depend on him and need him. That just wasn't me. There we have it.
And there we have it. That's the end.
That's right.
Let us know what you think OP should have done, or if you thought OP did the right thing. And with that, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you,
And see you tomorrow.